Cute as a cupcake, where the cupcakes are more than just cute, they're delicious. Go to www.cuteasacupcake3.com. Again, that's www.cuteasacupcake3.com and have cupcakes delivered directly to your door. If you're in the Maryville or Northwest Indiana area, stop by Cute as a Cupcake Cupcakery and Bake Shop at 2008 West 81st in Maryville, Indiana, where the cupcakes are more than just cute, they're delicious. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I am your host, Kevin King. He is I, and I am him, the 800 Credit Score Man himself. And once again, thank each and every one of you for coming in and listening to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I truly appreciate it. So, last week we did a nice show. We talked about mortgages. Got a lot of more questions about mortgages coming up this past week because we did that show. And I did the show because the previous week, a lot of people were asking, what's going on with mortgages? What do I need to do? How do I get there and all that stuff? So I'm going to call it a successful 2 weeks, if you will, when it comes to the whole mortgage game, the credit game, and to the 800 Credit Score Man show as well. So I want to say thank you guys for all contacting me and asking those questions. I hope I was very helpful to you and that you actually learned something and you're going to do something to better your own position when it comes to you getting that home that you want to get or whatever it is you want to do by getting a better credit score. We all know the better your credit score, the lower the interest rates you're going to pay, and that means it's going to save you money at the end of the day. So, again, welcome in to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. Thanks for coming in today. What are we going to talk about today? I think I actually named the show Credit Tips and Follow-Up or something like that. So, the reason I did, because I have several things that I wanted to talk to you about today, not just one specific subject. So stay tuned. You might pick up a new tidbit, if you will, from credit. Some way you can maneuver things a little bit differently to work to your advantage on today's 800 Credit Score Man Show. So one of the first things I want to do, I got to get this shout out right quick. Ryan King. Yes, that's my nephew. He celebrates his birthday today. So happy birthday, nephew. Ryan King, man. Have many more and be blessed. I got to give a shout out to Kendall Adams, Mr. Officer. Hey, stay safe out there in those streets. Officer Kendall Adams, stay safe. Happy birthday to you. My frat brother, Stephen Jeffers, he celebrated his birthday yesterday, I believe. So happy birthday to you, Stephen Jeffers, member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Kyle Perry is celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Kyle. Don't run up on me, Perry, a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So happy birthday to all you guys. I got a couple more shout outs for birthdays. I'm going to save them for a little bit. I also want to say a lot of kids are going back to school. Some have already started a week or so ago. So back to school is here already. So I'm going to say be safe out there. And doesn't matter if it's kindergarten through, grad school. You guys got to be safe out there in those schools. Be safe. Learn something this year. Increase your knowledge on all kind of stuff. Doesn't matter, again, like I said, kindergarten to grad school, law school, medical school, whatever it is. So be safe out there. Now, speaking of little kids, I don't know how little, but speaking of little kids that are going to school, So Money, which is a podcast, the young lady that is on the podcast, that hosts the podcast, her name is Farnoosh. She's been on MSNBC, CNBC. So she's she's a real person. It's not a scam. It's not something you got to be worried about. But So Money Podcast is doing a scholarship, if you will, for $2,500 to help a family get through this. And it seems to me, when I was doing my reading, more so like, if you need to buy your kid a Chromebook so your kid doesn't have to go to school or something of that nature, she's doing, and So Money Podcast is doing a $2,500 scholarship. So I'm gonna encourage you to apply. Now you're gonna ask me, well, how in the world do I get to go and apply? If you're serious and you want to go apply, contact me and I'll forward you the link that I got. All right, it's way too much for me to tell you, over the air and whatnot. So contact me. I will forward the link to you so you can apply for this. I think you got to apply by next Saturday because I think September the 1st, they're going to announce who the winner is of this particular scholarship that they're giving out. So you can read all the rules and all that kind of stuff when you get it. So email me, 800 at creditscoreman.com. That's 800 at creditscoreman.com. Email it to me. I'll forward you the information, and you can apply for the scholarship that they're giving out to help people, maybe helping people with the digital divide if they're having an issue and your kids are doing a hybrid, or if your kids are at home exclusively and whatnot, which is happening all over the nation. So contact me, 800 at creditscoreman.com, and I'll make sure you get it. Or you can simply go check out So Money Podcast, SOMONEY, So Money, the podcast. And I'm sure there's some information. Google Farnoosh, FARNOOSH, I believe. Google her, and I'm sure you can find out what's going on with it. Or, like I said, contact me. So, congratulations to all the kids that's going back to school. I'm sure you passed to the next grade because of all the stuff that was going on. I'm sure you passed on to the next grade. So get your learning in this time around as well. All right. Let's go to this. So, like I said, last week, we did a whole bunch of stuff talking about mortgages and whatnot. I also said I want you guys to let me know what your credit scores are and whatnot, right? So I want to say thank you to all of the people that sent me your scores and your progress last week. I asked you to share them with me, and you absolutely did. I mean, I got messages from Instagram, which on Instagram, I'm 800 Credit Score Man. I got Facebook messages. You can get my 800 Credit Score Man biz page on Facebook. I got some personal messages there as well. Some came through Credit Score Comeback, the Facebook group that I have. So emails, text messages, I got it all last week. People sharing their credit scores, and so thank you very much for actually following through and doing that. It really does encourage me to see the progress that people have made. And I'm not just talking about the people that are on the brink of 800, because I got a couple of those too. I got some at 795, 796. I got some that are right there to get to 800. So not just those, but maybe even more so sometimes the people that send me some that, they went from 560 to 635. And in this email or in this communication saying, hey, since I've been listening to your show, this is what has happened to my credit because I'm following some of the tips that you're giving me. So from 560 to 635, that's so encouraging to get that. And you know who you are, Vic. You know who you are. Send me that one. So thank you very much. And you're moving on up. So you're going in the right direction no matter where you started, where you are, absolutely going in the right direction. So, and then sometimes that movement is slower for others, and then it's faster for other people. It really depends on what's on your credit score, on your credit report, and what's going on. So stay positive, be positive. Positive growth is a positive thing. So if it's just a few points this week, because you're watching Credit Karma and they're updating every week or whatever. If it's just a few points this week, cool. Not if it's 5 points, not nothing to jump up about, right? However, it's going in the right direction. So take that positive growth. Don't get discouraged. I also had a handful of communications as well, where people are absolutely just discouraged because they've been working on their credit for so long, or it's not moving fast enough for them, or whatever it is, for them to do the things they want to do. I'm here to tell you to stay encouraged. With the correct plan, you can correct any issues you've had in the past. You can correct them all if you do it right. If you do it in the right steps. If you do it in the right order, then you can move your credit score, sometimes faster, sometimes it's going to work slow, and it's a methodical process, but it can absolutely be done. So do not be discouraged. So let's do that. So since we're talking about this, then let's talk a little bit about those expectations, if you will. So if if you're looking at, say if you're looking at Credit Karma or whatnot, they're updating every week. So that can be a little bit too much. So one week, you might be up, the next week you might be down because they're doing a whole bunch over there. But you didn't get into whatever trouble you are in credit wise overnight, so you're not going to get out of it overnight either. People will reach out to me and they need help and they're in dire straits. Like right now, people will say, I need 100 points in 30 days. I need 100 points in 30 days. That's what they're calling me and saying. So although it's not necessarily impossible in certain situations, because I talked to you guys about being specific about things. Every credit score, every credit situation is not the same. So it's not necessarily impossible to get 100 points in 30 days, but most of the time that's not doable. Most of the time it's not doable. Yes, there are things you can set up to, start working that way, and maybe you can get there in 3 months, maybe you can get there in 6 months, whatever it is. It depends on what's going on with you. So although it may not be totally impossible, it's just not the norm at all. And since the credit bureau themselves take 30 to 45 days, sometimes 60 days to update your reports and your scores, then the chances are of, getting that 100 points in such a, short amount of time are slim to none. If you did everything that you needed to do today to correct all of those things, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to reach that goal in that 30 days, because it takes the credit bureaus 30, 45, 30, 60, 30, 45, or 60 days to actually get there. And I want to say this. Anybody, I don't care who you listen to, who you follow, anybody that tells you they can do it for you and get you these 100 points in 30 days without even looking at your specific situation is somebody that you need to be suspect of. At least you need to be suspect of those people. I ain't going to say turn and run necessarily, but you might want to back away real slow on somebody that tells you that they can move your credit score 100 points. You're sitting at a 585 like I was back in the day, and then you're going to tell me I'm going to have a 685 in 30 days. You can get it done for me in 30 days. You haven't looked at my situation at all. You don't know if I got new credit. You know if I got old credit. You don't know if I filed bankruptcy 2 years ago or 2 weeks ago. But you're going to get me that 100 points in the next 30 days. If it's too good to be true, it often is, right? So make sure you level set. You level set with your expectations. All right, so make sure you do that. And positive growth, like I said, is very positive. Positive growth is very positive. So, so we have those people. They wanna, they want their 100 points and they want it yesterday, right? No problem. Let's start working on. Let's start working on that 100 points. But then you have other people that absolutely freak out when their score falls 4 points. So slow down. You gotta slow down. 4 points doesn't even register as a hiccup, as far as I'm concerned. So your scores, they fluctuate. So 4 points isn't worth sweating over at all. I just said, you went and you got 5 extra points in a week that, it's not nothing to jump up and down about and, hooraying about and cheering about. So 4 points, losing 4 points is not something to sweat at all. I venture to say, losing 10 to 12 points isn't worth getting your blood pressure up. Now, it's worth watching and seeing what's going on, but it's not worth getting your blood pressure up if you were to lose those kind of points. If you haven't done anything, now that's if you haven't done anything regarding your credit. If you haven't done anything, you haven't applied for anything, you didn't miss payment, you didn't do, nothing has changed about your credit report, and then you lose that 10 to 12 points. most likely it's going to bounce back in the next update. It'll bounce back. So you'll get those same points back, if not more, maybe 1 point less than what you lost.